Pop Warner to the Dome. From 5Ks to marathons. From Little League to work leagues. Focusing on the community sports lifestyle in Central New York. This is Sports Express Radio on News Radio 570 WSYR. Now on 106.9 FM.
Yes, it is the Sports Express Golf Show. Not golf show.
Golf show.
Oh, dear me.
Wow.
I'm telling you, it was a bad day yesterday. Wow. It was a bad day yesterday. No, it's not the community sports golf show. We did a golf show yesterday morning, Ken, but what a day it was yesterday. Hey, O'Neill, how you doing?
Very good, sir.
And in the studio, we have Rob Bennett,
Hello.
again, the CEO of Sports Express, and our in-guest co-host, Lawrence Moten. Good morning, Lawrence.
Good morning, my friend. How are you?
Morning, Rob. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
All right, what a day. We started it off yesterday going to that clinic over there at Syracuse up at Skytop. What a day it was. So, let's not waste any time. Let's go right out to James Mungro, who was responsible for putting that on that spectacular clinic. And by the way, there was Lawrence over there throwing the ball, catching the ball. You were a football player before basketball.
All-American, wide receiver safety.
Oh, pardon-moi. High school All-American?
High school All-American.
High school All-American?
Absolutely.
Oh, my,
Absolutely.
I didn't know that. I thought you were just on the team.
No,
Oh, my
no,
gosh.
it was a great
Anyway,
player.
on the line with us is James Mungro. Good morning, James.
Hey, good morning, guys. How's everybody doing?
We're
great.
doing fine.
Good.
You tell us, how do you think your clinic went yesterday up there at Skytop?
I thought it was a great thing. The kids loved it, the parents loved it, and it was a great showing. And we had a fun time up there. We had probably about 150 kids there, and just to see the happiness on their face and the interaction with our coaches there, with the kids, it was a fabulous job.
Well, you did a wonderful job of putting together a marvelous coaching staff, actually clinic leaders, if you will. Why don't you tell the folks some of the people who were there, and I think they'll even be more impressed.
Well, like we said, you had Lawrence there, and Lawrence is known for basketball, but a lot of people don't realize how good he was in football as well. Being that tall, that ball's up in the air. Lawrence is, All-American, like Lawrence said. We had Rob Bennett working with the running backs. Joe Sindoni, we had Syracuse Strong there, Brian Casey from SOS. I mean, we had a tremendous staff there, and some SU staff members as well. Again, it was for the kids, and it was our first time doing it there in Skytop. But
Hey, James, you're forgetting about one other NFL great.
There's one
that was
other
there yesterday.
Yes.
Oh yeah, forgot about my main man Steve Gregory.
Yeah.
Steve has a. Steve speaks for himself. I mean, he played with the Chargers. He played with the Patriots, defensive back. He was tremendous. I was able to go around talking to the kids and stuff, take pictures, sign some autographs, and it was a great day. The weather wasn't bad at all, so it turned out well. I mean,
Perry, I just have to tell you, and I don't mean to interrupt you, James, but as James mentioned, that I was running the running backs drill, doing my best, but once the real running back showed up and James Mungro and showed him how to do it, nobody was paying any attention whatsoever to what I had to say.
Yeah, I'm telling you. And here's James. James, I saw him over there doing he went to every single station and did his little thing, but they asked him to put the knees up and down, all right, over those little pylons there. Oh my goodness, James, where did you get that twinkle toe there? Is that what you did?
It's got a burst.
You had high knees when you ran, didn't you?
Well, Perry, my knees aren't gonna get so high because I'm only 5'9". I like to say I'm 6 foot, but be honest, I'm 5'9". But I was going to get some of the kids and some of the drills and stuff, and just to see the smile on the face. I remember as a youngster doing stuff like this with other professional athletes and looking up to them and like, oh my gosh, I'm running against Michael Strahan right now. And, I'd done that in high school, ran against some of the New York Giants, and then I had the opportunity to actually play with them, play against them as I got older. So, it was just a great thing, and, the kids really enjoyed it. We looking forward to doing it again in the springtime at the Dome. But it was a nice time, very, very nice time.
James, you were awesome. Great job.
Yep, it was really phenomenal. I want to compliment you on putting together that staff that you had. And by the way, the parents, some of the comments, because I went around taking pictures, which I haven't sent to you, by the way, yet. But some of the parents, after it was over with, right, some of the parents are walking off, and this one fella, it was classic. He goes, well, I guess, he says, it was average. He says, we just had some NFL players there, or former athletes. I guess that's the way it is, folks. Yeah. It was phenomenal because you had the best of the best of the local coaches. I mean, Sidoni was over there coaching the quarterbacks, and his quarterback has, what's his name? Do you know what his name is, Rob?
Who's that?
The quarterback at Skinny Atlas.
Yeah, Pat Hackler.
Pat.
Yeah.
Pat throws 6 touchdown passes in the first 2 games in the season. I mean, give me a break.
12 after 2 games. That's a pretty good number.
12, holy smokes.
It's good numbers, good numbers.
Listen, while we have you on the line, we've got to talk about Syracuse football. You were at the game.
Goodness.
You were at the game.
Goodness.
We were at the game. Your first thoughts about the game? Just your first thoughts.
I would say the first thing comes to mind for myself, and as being an alumni from there, and Bleeding Orange, they have a lot of work to do. They have a lot of work. They have a lot of work they have to accomplish in a short amount of time. Yesterday was very disappointing. It was just very, very disappointing game. Hey, you don't ever let no one come to your own home and beat up on you like that. And the game was close, but again, Syracuse should be a powerhouse team. And Middle Tennessee is a good team, but they shouldn't have hung around at all. They shouldn't have beat Syracuse yesterday. But when your quarterback is doing everything on your team for Syracuse, and I mean everything goes through Syracuse quarterback, and I kind of feel bad for Dungy a little bit because he has a lot of stuff on his shoulders, and I think at times he tries to do a little too much. And it's just, I mean, he had a 35.9 quarterback rating, and probably over 160 yards passing, and you can't do that. And he's leading the team in rushing again for the second week. They have to get a running game. And the running backs need to step it up because they're not helping at all with Dungy back there in the backfield. Well, he needs help.
Yeah, unfortunately, he was the leading ground gainer, and his average yards per carry was 2.8. Now that's not good.
Not good.
Anyway,
at all.
okay.
Not
So
good at all.
your comments, Rob. I was sitting right next to you, and your two great kids. They were ready to disown me. Hey, Ken, he was ready to disown me. Lawrence, we couldn't see you, but you were at the game too, right?
Yes, I was at the
Your
game.
thoughts, Rob?
I have to kind of parrot what James was saying, is that I was a little surprised more than anything, but it still is just the second game of the season and just year 2 of the Babers era. But in the immortal words of my good friend Jim McNeil, in Babers we trust, and have all the faith in the world in this coach and this coaching staff to give bring Syracuse back into prominence. Yesterday was a tough one, but I have no doubt that they'll get this thing going.
All right, Lawrence, your comments.
Well, you guys are being real modest, and I'm a diehard Cuse guy. We need to pick it up and play better. Of course, like James said, it's every game that you play. It's very important, to learn how to win. You have to learn how to win at home first and protect your home.
Exactly.
Exactly. We didn't do that. And guys, I'm looking for more fire, man. I'm honestly used to the years of marvelous Marvin Graves and Donovan McNabb, where we averaged about 10 or 11 wins a season. So, I believe in Babers, but I'm all about getting it done now. This world now that we live in, they're not going to feel sorry for anybody, and it's about getting it done now. So hopefully he can change this thing around, but protect your home, guys. You have to protect your home. That dome is ours.
Whoa.
On a positive note, though, you can't always take something positive, even out of a loss. And one thing that I looked at is I'm big with penalties. And, Syracuse only had 4 penalties for 40 yards. And the other team had 9 penalties for 113 yards. So, there is some growth there. And, obviously Syracuse is keeping their composure out there on the penalty side, but now they got to step it up in the passing game and the rushing game. And obviously they got to stop the other team. The defense has to pick it up.
Yeah,
Got to figure out a way to get that ball downfield.
All right, can I contribute something to this now? Is it my turn? I gave everybody else a shot.
Okay,
It's
Perry.
your turn, Perry.
Coach Babers is one class act, and he took full responsibility for not getting his team prepared, but especially because now what you think of all of the emotion that was going on with that game. Not only were they honoring Coach Mack, emotional. Not only were they honoring the 1987 team, right, emotional. And plus all of those little sidelight bars there. I felt like I was going to a circus with everything else and slowing down the game. There are two other
something. Yeah, since you mentioned that, Perry, I'd tell you one thing that really ticked me off.
The injuries.
It was very obvious, very obvious what they were doing at the very end of the game.
Of course,
with the people getting injured, and something. When someone's injured, that's a scary moment. But when someone fakes injury, that's really that's sad, and it really, it totally ticked me off at the very end of the game when the guy acted like he had to pulled calf muscle or whatever.
Oh, dear, please.
And then he jumps right up because they had too many people on the field. The NCAA, they have to stop that. They have to find some type of rule to stop that type of mess because that does not belong in football at all. And yes, so I'm going to give Tennessee the credit for doing something like that. And the kids are thinking smart, but they did it too many times. It slowed the game down a lot. When Syracuse got in rhythm, they faked the injury. And then the kid just pops right up.
Yeah, you know who won that game? You know who won that game? The Tennessee coach won that game with the strategy. Wait until the very last second.
You're 100% right.
Yeah. The turning point of the game, in my view, and I don't want to put this on the kid because it's happened to all of us, dropping a punt. You can't drop a punt. When you drop a punt and then they go 78 yards in 5 plays with a 43-yarder, that was like and then they scored again. It was too easy. It was too easy for them to score again. That slant play right down the middle. Anyway, okay.
Another thing that you guys didn't bring up that I think that was very important, and you have to understand, when you're playing against your former coach, you have to come with even more fire,
Great point.
To want to actually beat these guys because he's coming with that same fire.
Coach Schaefer was the defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
the coordinator
genius.
for the other team. So he brought the fire. He
did.
And he did a great job. I like Coach Schaefer. I liked him here at Syracuse. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. But now we got Dino, and Dino's going to get the boys right.
Absolutely,
he will.
I agree.
Dino's going to get the boys right. He will get them right.
I agree.
Okay, hey James, great segment. Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Okay, we'll see you next week in the studio.
Hey, don't have too much fun without me now.
Yeah, no, listen,
right,
we want you in the studio next week.
Oh, hey, we can get it. We can make that happen.
Okay, all right, see ya. There he goes.
Okay then.
All right. Hey, it is time for the Community Sports Report with the Kenster, Ken O'Neill.
Thank you, Perry. Community Sports Report is brought to you by the Davidson Auto Group. In girls field hockey this week, it was Baldwinsville 1, Liverpool 0. Emma Brushingham scored the goal. Haley Boda had 6 saves, and for Liverpool, Hannah Dombrowski had 12 saves. In other field hockey games, Port Byron and Cazenovia tied 2-2. Amanda Chutty and Allison Ryan and Jenna Weston had goals. Amanda Chutty had 12 saves, and Zoe Shepard scored 2 for Cazenovia. For East Syracuse Manoa, they defeated Cortland 2-0. Corey Palmer had 1 save. Lucy Hager had 2 saves. Emma Schaefer and Jillian McCarthy had goals. Lindsay Russell had an assist. Other field hockey winners: Rome Free Academy, Cato Meridian, Canastota, Moravia, Central Valley Academy, Cicero North Syracuse, and Sydney. In girls cross country, the 14th annual Vernon Verona Sherrill Girls Cross Country Invitation was held this week. Fayetteville Manlius won the race with a team score of 20. Claire Walters, winning time of 18:14.3, led the group of 6 Hornets that finished the top 10. Walters' time was also good for an overall invitational first-place finish. Phoebe White, Sophia Ryan, Palmer Madsen, Rebecca Walters, and Grace Karcher all placed in the top 10. Tully's Brooke Robber placed 2nd, and Camden's Elizabeth Lucason finished 6th. West Genesee edged out Baldwinsville by 9 points to win the race. The Wildcats' Emily Young and Carly Benson both finished the top 10, while the Bees had 2 finishes in the top 10 in Justice Holden Betts and Olivia Creelman. Clinton's Eva Barton won the race with a winning time of 19:01.7. Liverpool opened their 2017 cross-country season with a sweep of conference foe West Genesee with the girls taking home a 19-39 victory and the boys eking out a 26-29 decision. Warriors sophomore Jenna Scholes and junior Madison Newer broke both the previous course record during the race at Long Branch Park. On the boys' side, the team split the top 10 finishes with 5 student athletes apiece, but Liverpool had 3 of the top 5 to make up a narrow margin. Junior Nathan Reeves took first place with a time of 16:54, while West Genesee's Sean Burns and Matthew Bartolotta came in second and third with times of 17:03 and 17:13 respectively. Colin McLaughlin finished in fourth with 17:26, and teammate Thomas Prashinus was fifth at 17:28. Now, in the next half hour, we have thousands of more stuff, and so we will take a break here. And
All right.
Send it back to Perry.
All right, folks, do not touch that dial. We're calling back with Lawrence to talk to us about the CBT Celebrity Classic and what that's all about. This is News Radio 570 WSYR, now on 106.9 FM.
Sports Express Radio on News Radio 570 WSYR, now on 106.9 FM.
All right, welcome back to the Sports Express Sports Show. We got to get to Lawrence right now, folks, because there's a great event coming up. I don't want to steal any of his thunder because this is a very big deal in the community. Lawrence, tell us about your CBT Celebrity Classic.
Yes, well, we're having the CBT Celebrity Basketball Classic. But first of all, the CBT is an event that we do, Syracuse University, African-American and Latino students do every 4 years. We've been doing this for quite some time. It all started with a great pioneer. You all know him, Rick Wright. He was a member of the first CBT event. And this CBT Celebrity Basketball Classic is going to be very nice. Going to have a lot of former Syracuse basketball players, male and female. You know, I'll run off the list. You know, guys like Floyd Little will be there, Billy Owens, Derek Coleman, John Wallace, Lazar Sims, Eton Thomas, Eric Devendorf, Dwayne Kennan, Ryan Blackwell, Davita Carpenter, Roland Grimes, Tondi Massimini, Turnell Sims, Vera Jones, Mark Pry, Deanne Hobson, Angela Austin Roberts, and Tatiana Warren.
Wow.
To name a few.
Wow.
So it'll be a great event. You know, and not only just for the basketball and football, I want people to understand. The CBT is very important for people to understand that it's also for students that attended the university that didn't play sports but went on to do great things with it, whether it be education or real estate, whatever, acting. You know, I heard Tay Diggs might pop through. He's a great actor. Vanessa Williams, who won the USA pageant.
Oh, really?
She's supposed to be there. You know, Jim Brown is coming back. You know,
dear. Now, what's the date of the event again?
The date is September the 14th. That's on a Thursday, and it's from 8:30 to 10 o'clock at night. It'll be held at Henniger High School. Lazar Sims, my former teammate, went to Henniger, so he had great things to do with that. And it'll be a very good event. You know, we're going to have a nice gala that's going on Saturday night down at the Marriott in the ballroom. We've already sold 1,000 tickets.
No. You said 1,000?
Yeah, there have already been 1,000 tickets.
1,000 tickets?
Yes, at the new Marriott downtown. I guess they rebuilt it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I haven't been in there yet, but I hear it's very nice.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
Absolutely.
It's wonderful. A great facility. So you got 1,000?
1,000 tickets so far. So and they do it every 4 years, Perry. This is a great event, and I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Okay, that's why. I mean, you only do it every 4 years. That's why you got that lineup there. The lineup, they're just superstars around this. My.
We bleed orange, and this is our way of telling the Syracuse fans in the community that we appreciate everything you've done. And this game, you know, we're trying to raise money to proceed benefits for the university endowed scholarship for the Black and Latino students. So, you know, trying to help out in any way that we can. And I got my degree in education. I'm all about the youth. So any way I can help out, I'm all a part of it.
Well, if yesterday is any example of the way that you conduct yourself in public with all those kids, and
I enjoyed that, Perry.
You probably could have been a quarterback too. I saw the throw.
Perry, I enjoid that. Well, you know, my father was a great quarterback.
Oh, he was.
My father was a quarterback
naturally.
in high school and in college. But it's in my blood, and that brought back a lot of great memories. You know, of actually my football days and just getting up on a Saturday morning and smelling that breath of fresh air, that early morning fresh air, and just getting ready for the game. And to be honest with you, Perry, a lot of people don't know this. Football was my first love.
Oh, wow.
It was absolutely my first love. So.
Well, listen, you made a comment when we were off the air during commercial break, and I think I'd like to have you say it again because the athletes at Syracuse, they don't know what happened. How long has it been now?
Yeah. Well, I was just talking about the Syracuse University, football program, and people need to understand, we love and we bleed orange here, and we want Coach Bavers to do a great job and get back to the winning tradition that we're used to seeing. I was just talking about when I was in Syracuse during my time. We had great quarterbacks, my roommate Marvin Graves and Donovan McNabb, and my whole point was we were guaranteed 10 or 11 wins a season.
Yeah,
a season. And my roommate Marvin Graves, he's the only guy, for you gurus out there, Marvin Graves is the only guy in Syracuse history at the quarterback position to get MVP in 3 bowl games.
Oh, wow.
3 bowl games.
Wow.
So I just want to get back to the bowl times, Perry. I just want to get back to the good times.
But the point you made for the kids that are on the team now, they're not used to that tradition yet.
They're not used to that tradition, and not only the kids, the fans.
Yeah.
They're not used to seeing the winning tradition, and we have it here, and it's coming back. So stay with us and just believe in what we have and what we have to do, and hopefully get back on the winning track.
Yeah, okay. Great point. And listen, we want to thank Davidson Ford up there on Route 31 in Clay for being the title sponsor of the Sports Express radio show. Do not touch that dial. We're coming back with the Community Athletes of the Week with Rob Bennett, who's on the road now. He left us in the studio. He's on the road to a community event, of course. This is News Radio 570 WSYR, now on 106.9 FM.
Those big Sports Express Radio continues on News Radio 570 WSYR, now on 106.9 FM.
All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen, and it is time for the second Community Sports Report with the Kenster, Ken O'Neill.
Thank you, Perry, and it's brought to you by Davidson Auto Group. In girls soccer this week, it was Canastota Oneida beat Canastota by a score of, let's see here. It would be nice if I could read my own writing. Oneida beat Canastota 3-1 for Canastota. Mackenzie Leahy had a goal for Oneida. 2 goals by Rachel DeRuby, and Sophia Sanchez had 1. It was Tully 5, Hoosick Falls 3 for Tully. Alexa Hamilton had 3 goals. Jessica Donald had 1, and Emma Byrne had 1. And Emily Latanya had 8 saves. It was Marcellus 2, Indian River 1. Catherine Castro and Anna Vetch had goals. Other girls' soccer winners were Vernon Verona Sherrill, Cazenovia, New Hartford, Beaver River, Cincinnatus, Saquat Valley, Morrisville Eaton, Allegheny Limestone, and Islip defeated Liverpool by a score of 1-0. Wednesday was the Onondaga boys soccer team's first contest in decades, and while Bishop Ludden was certainly a difficult premier task, the Tigers will look to use the 6-0 defeat as a building block for the remainder of the campaign and beyond. The Gaelic Knights struck for 4 goals in the first half and tacked on 2 more after intermission to take the convincing win. Bishop Ludden featured 6 different goal scorers and 9 separate players with points. Leading the way was Lucas Scuteri with 1 goal and 1 assist, while Cole Reel, Connor Catalano, Jim McGarvey, Liam Casey, and Liam Mahar each scored once as well. Goalies Josh Bianchi and Sean Merrill combined for the shutout with 4 saves and 3 saves, respectively. Other games, it was New Hartford 5, Seton Catholic 3. Danny Rahill had 2 goals, Armin Bozzi had 1, and Giovanni Farnino had 2 goals for New Hartford. It was Potsdam losing to Cazenovia 5-2 for Cazenovia. Goals scored by Alex Pezza, Ryan Mojaletsky, and Joe Spires. Other boys soccer wins were by Chittenango, by Old Forge, New Hartford, Cincinnatus, Cazenovia, Utica Academy of Science, Madison, Phoenix, Christian Brothers Academy, McQuaid, and Hamilton defeated Edmonston by a score of 5-1. The Little Falls defense held Lowville to single digits on Saturday afternoon, lifting the Mounties to a 14-8 win over the Raiders in high school football. Little Falls improved to 1-1 with a win, while Lowville fell to 0-2. Both teams had to wait until late in the third quarter for another score when Little Falls took a 14-0 lead thanks to a 2-yard touchdown run by Tony Servidone. Lowville got on the board with 5:34 left in the fourth quarter. Chad Batch's 83-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown, but it wasn't enough as the Mounties held on for a 14-8 decision. Utica Proctor defense held Rome Free Academy at just 7 points on Saturday, keying a 48-7 victory over the Black Knights. The Raiders improved to 1-1 with the win, while Rome Free Academy fell to 0-2. Logan Wilcox scored the only points of the first quarter for Proctor, plunging in from 1 yard out in an 8-0 lead. Landon Johnson started the scoring in the second, running in from 7 yards out before recording a second rushing TD from 10 yards later in the quarter. Wilcox then found Jason Balmer and a 20-yard touchdown pass to make the score 26-0 entering halftime. Holland Patton scored 35 first half points and never looked back in a 42 win over Adirondack on Saturday in Class C East football. The Golden Knights improved to 1-1 while the Wildcats fell to 0-2. Nick Harrington opened the scoring by throwing his first of 4 touchdown passes, a 12-yard connection to DJ Harder, a 55-yard TD reception with Griffin Briggs later in the frame made it 14-0 after 1 quarter. Other winners, Thousand Islands, Mexico, Casanova, Utica Notre Dame, Oneida, Canastota, Jordan Elbridge, Southern Hills, and Beaver River defeated Morrisville Eaton 47-0. Now, Perry, we have a couple more things. For best performances, Francis Sirio notched 3 touchdowns to lead Chittenango past West Hill 21-13. In a wild one, Mitchell Seabury ran for 6 touchdowns to propel Fayetteville Manlius over Henninger 49-38. Black Knights quarterback Alex Dowdy was magnificent in defeat, throwing 5 touchdown passes and racking up 500 yards through the air. And Skinny Atlas quarterback Pat Hackler continued his hot start to the fall, throwing 5 touchdown passes in the Lakers' 48-14 shellacking of Port Byron Union Springs. And best moments, Central Square put in one of the most surprising results of the night, taking out Corcoran 25-16 behind a huge game from Jamie Battaglia, 34 carries, 179 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And finally, Wyatt Renshaw's fourth-quarter touchdown rush led Herkimer to a stunning 13-16 upset of Frankfurt's Schuyler. And that is a look at the Community Sports Report brought to you by Davidson Ford.
All right, thank you, Ken. Hey, listen, by the way, that was 6 touchdown passes. There was a mistake in the wherever you got the information. I think it was 6. Wow. Is that true, Mr. Bennett?
Absolutely, 6 touchdowns.
Punch, Perry, as usual. I was just about to tell Ken that that had been corrected and turned into 6 touchdown passes. But like always, you're on top of things.
It's still amazing. 6 touchdown passes.
Yeah.
And then the other fellow there
12 after 2 games.
threw 5 touchdowns,
Yes,
and they lost.
And they lost.
Holy
All right,
cow.
listen. So this week, each week, folks, we're going to have an Athletes of the Week segment, and Rob is going to bring it to us, either on his way to one of the community sports events or at one of the community sports events. Now, you left the studio to go where today?
I'm headed to Hyatt Stadium in Skinny Alice. It's Pop Warner football day. It's the Pee Wee football day, Perry.
Okay.
And, I gotta get there.
Okay, and now tell us your Athletes of the Week. We're going to see if we agree, okay, Lawrence?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So first thing, I want to appreciate all the people that have reached out to us with their recommendations, and really hope that we can get a lot more people to make their suggestions to us. Again, we're trying to empower the community. We want this to be your sports radio show and tell the stories and help promote the activities that are important to you. So thank you for everyone who did that. Please contact me, Rob, at SportsXpress.com, Rob at SportsXpress.com, and you can also submit information to us on our website, Syracuse.sportsexpress.com. Ken does such a great job in his report talking about a lot of the great performances and things like that. But we just want everyone to know that our Athletes of the Week does not mean the best performances, but just at times it could be people that have accomplished things, and even if it's surpassed by other people. But the story that caught our group's attention this week was a young woman, Natalie Sierra, out of Marcellus, who plays on the varsity football team. She's a kicks for that team. In addition, she's a wide receiver and defensive back, but she got some real game experience at the varsity level this week, and her first rush of the year went for a 9-yard gain. And
oh, dear.
That's just fantastic.
Wow.
I'm on my way to a youth football game, and we've had just some unbelievable, fantastic female players in our youth program. 2 that come to mind, Bailey Ellis and Erica Bean, who have just been, real leaders at the youth football level. But now we've got Natalie, who's doing it at the varsity level as well, and I'm sure she's going to be doing a lot more spectacular things. But, getting it started with the 9-yard run this week we thought was fantastic. And, we want to have her be this week's Athlete of the Week.
Well, wait a minute. Athletes, plural, Bennett. You said athletes. We want to hear more. Obviously, you're going to pick the kid from Skinny Atlas who threw 6 touchdown passes, right? Or no?
Pat's a pretty special kid, and he came up in our youth program, and been able to watch him from his first tackle game, right up through now, and still a junior. And he's got a pretty young supporting cast with Nick Wamp and Nathan Wellington and Cross Bianchi and all guys that we've had in our program. So it's been fun watching these kids grow from their peewee days right up through varsity, and now excelling at the highest high school levels right now. So that's a lot of fun. But definitely, Pat gets another nod as an Athlete of the Week.
Okay, listen, what did you say that gal's name was at Marcellus?
Natalie Sierra.
Natalie.
And I hope I'm pronouncing her name right.
Sierra.
Natalie, Ciere.
Hey, Lawrence, you got to be impressed.
I'm very impressed.
With that, Natalie.
Very impressed.
Look, she's got to enjoy it now. I have my own thoughts about girls playing with boys, especially in football or wrestling. Mm-hmm. However, you got to give her credit. Absolutely. She earned her way on the team. She ran 9 yards. It wasn't for 2 yards. It's a great feat. She's got to enjoy it now because chances are at the next level it's going to be a lot harder, Rob.
Yeah.
Zach Prescott back to pass, throws to Sierra, touchdown.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so you are on your way. We want you to have a good day today watching Pop Warner, and next week we will expect another report for your Athletes of the Week. We got to come up with a number. We got to have certainly. I think we should have 3. I think we should have 3 Athletes of the Week, Bennett.
All right.
Okay.
You're the boss.
Hey, Rob.
Yes.
It's not Pop Warner though, right? We want to make that clear. It's a different thing.
Yeah, this is USA football that we do here. It's pretty much the same thing, the same age groups and levels. It's just some different rules, but it's Pee Wee football. We can generalize it and call it Pee Wee football. Whether it's USA football, whether it's Pop Warner, all of those different things. It's just different leagues with different rules.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Rob.
All right. Thank you.
Okay,
guys.
we'll see you later. All right, folks, and we are going to take another short break, but we're coming back with John Sheedy, the OCC baseball coach. Yes, sir. This is News Radio 570 WSYR, now on 106.9 FM.
More of Sports Express Radio on News Radio 570 WSYR, now on 106.9 FM.
All right. The Sports Express Radio Show is on the air, presented by Davidson Ford up there on Route 31 in Clay, New York. I didn't see your expedition there, but I did see I saw James F-150 was parked right there out in front of the clinic yesterday. Did you see it? The big red one.
Absolutely, looking very nice.
It was cool. It was cool. All right, folks, on the line with us right now is one of our community sports coaches. He is John Sheedy, the Onondaga Community College baseball coach. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Terry. How are you today?
Listen, I didn't tell the boys in the studio, Ken nor Lawrence, that yesterday. Wait a minute, was it yesterday or Friday? It was Friday, wasn't it? No. Yeah, it was yesterday. Yesterday, I met you at Cam's Pizzeria over there at. We were sitting down having a little bit of lunch, and we were talking about your program. And here you are. Most people think the baseball season. Heck, we're coming into World Series time, but this is a time when you break out the baseballs and the bats for your fall season, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're into our third week of fall ball already. Great chance for me to see all the new kids and integrate them with the returning players. Well.
How many do you have on your squad right now?
We're still at about 45.
Oh, wow.
And, we started with 60, Perry, and we're now down to 45, and I'll probably get down to under 40 after this weekend, and ultimately by the time the end of the fall season is over, I'll probably be between 30 and 35.
Wow, I mean, you get up over 40, it's really hard to give everybody time on the field. In fact, but you said, well, hang on a second. You brought up a statistic that absolutely blew my mind. Tell the folks about your September schedule. Wait a minute, is it September? Yeah, it would be September schedule playing baseball.
So last weekend, we opened up with a 3-game set. On Friday of Labor Day weekend, we played Durham College. They're a 4-year school out of Canada. And we played them in a 9-inning game down in Cooperstown, New York, and so on Doubleday Field. So it was a great opportunity for the boys to really see where baseball, started and the historic elements of Cooperstown. And then they came back here and played us for a doubleheader on Saturday at our complex. And this weekend, right now, we're in the midst of a doubleheader with Long Island Baseball coming up. They're a really good, solid travel organization. So it allows me an opportunity to recruit and have them see our campus and facilities. Next weekend, we play doubleheader on Sunday against the South Troy Dodgers. The following weekend, we play a 3-game set with the Connecticut Blue Jays. Doubleheader on Saturday and a single 9-inning game on Sunday.
Doubleheaders. You got them all throughout the month. Well, tell the folks how many games you play in September.
We'll play all fall, Perry. We'll play between 15 and 18 games.
In how many days? In how many days?
Roughly about probably 30 total days.
Okay, and I think you're following the Ernie Banks theory about playing baseball. Ernie Banks, that used to be the shortstop for the Chicago Cubs, he said, look, if you're going to play one game, you might just well play two. The doubleheaders were more the exception to the rule than now.
The norm.
Yeah.
Sure.
Really, and it makes sense. So how many pitchers do you have to carry?
Ultimately, on the final roster, we'll have between probably 12 and 14 total pitchers, and then the balance will be all positional players.
Well, what interested me was the fact that you also play a lot of the colleges around here. That you play Lemoyne, do you not?
We do. At the end of September, on the 30th, we'll play Lemoyne. Again, it's a great opportunity for my guys to be recruited by Lemoyne, and also to play really high-level competition. As you know, they're at Division II.
Yeah.
The following Sunday, October 1st, we'll head up to St. John Fisher. We'll play St. John Fisher College, and then we'll play a couple of other junior colleges. We'll play Jefferson Community College, and then close it out with a few other travel teams.
How about Ithaca? How about Ithaca and George Bellicini?
No, they have their play date, and it's not with us on the schedule. But Coach Valicente runs a great program down there in Ithaca.
Oh, so this fall you won't be playing them unless it's in some kind of a tournament.
Yes, correct. Usually the Division III schools like Ithaca are allowed one play date in the fall, and they probably have something set up already with another school.
Wow, holy cow! Well, you've been there now. This is your 4th season, right?
Started my 4th season, yes.
Well, Coach, so where's your strength now? You think it's in the staff or you're hitting? Defense, hitting, pitching. I don't know. Where is it?
Well, we try to play a very aggressive form of baseball on the offensive side. Our philosophy is to try to, put the defense on their heels with this turf facility that we have. We want to get guys in motion. We want to hit to the gaps and have our, singles turn into doubles and our doubles turn into triples. So we play very aggressively on offense, and defensively, I think this might be my best team defensively right now that I've had, just based on what I've seen so far this fall. Again, got to make all the plays, got to execute, and if we do that, I think we'll be in every game.
Listen, Coach, we got Lawrence Moten's in the studio. Lawrence has played professional basketball, as you know, and I saw the picture. Yeah. I saw Michael Jordan all over his back. He was breaking to the basket, and I asked him, Lawrence, did you make the play? He says, I made the play, Perry. And he's also an All-American high school football player. There's no question you played baseball. You must have played baseball, so you tell a coach. What do you have to say to the coach?
Honestly, never played baseball. But I actually played, you remember Indian ball?
Indian ball.
Yes. It's a form of, like a pickup street ball type of baseball thing where you just hit the ball and basically whoever catches it, you have to put the bat down and roll the ball. And if it hits the bat and you catch it, you get to hit it again. But if it hits the bat,
Indian ball. Hey, Coach, that's the first time I've heard of that game.
Absolutely. I thought he was referring to stickball.
So did I. Stickball.
Yeah, I guess it's a similar form of stickball. We call it the Indian ball, though.
Okay, right. Yeah. So you were. When did you kind of know that you were going to be a tall dude?
Well, I didn't get really tall probably until maybe 9th or 10th grade.
Okay.
But I had a nice height with myself. And
okay.
I love the game. I'm a diehard Nationals guy. Let's not get it straight. I don't know. I've never played baseball, but I do know about the sport.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, Coach, it was nice talking to you about your program there. Is there anything you want to say to the youth out there in Syracuse? Because I know this is it could be a stepping stone, because you said you play a lot of four-year schools, and they're really recruiting your team, correct?
Oh, absolutely. No, I would think for those that are in high school right now, you really have to consider playing, junior college, whether it's, baseball, basketball, or another sport, because it really affords an opportunity for kids to get on the field or the court right away. You start your education right away as well. It certainly is a great start, and, the value is that if you go to a 4-year, you may not play right away. You come to a junior college like OCC, you have an opportunity to be on the field, compete, and get great coaching, as well as obviously start your education. So great value in community colleges, and if they're interested, please, if you haven't seen our campus and our baseball facilities, they're top notch, and I think the best in the state. I'm
coming out to check them out, Coach. Hey,
please come on out.
I want to. Yeah, I have there are two conditions. I'm pitching batting practice, and I also want to bat. I want batting practice slot.
We can make both of those happen, Perry.
Okay.
Set it up, and we're happy to have you out.
All right. Okay. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, John.
Okay.
Nice
See ya.
Take care, guys.
All right. Yeah, we were at Cam's, and we were just talking with Rob.
Yeah,
it was a great conversation, and I was learning all about listen, they have a baseball field, and they can flip a switch, and they got lights.
Wow.
What college, what college has lights on a baseball field?
Yeah.
I mean, how cool is that, Ken?
It's cool, I guess.
I thought you were gonna pop in and say, "Hey, do you have 16 pitchers like the Yankees do now?"
I wasn't going to say that, but now that you mention it,
all right. Listen,
that's a
tell
good
the folks
thing,
again. Tell the folks again about that event you've got there.
Yeah,
we got to
absolutely.
mention that
CBT,
again.
September the 14th. We want you to all come out and support, the Syracuse alumni, and get to see some of the former players that you used to root on and still have love for.
Okay, now is this the banquet thing at Marriott that they can join, or
the banquet is September the 16th.
Oh, September 16th. And where do you want them to join you, at Henniger?
At Henniger High School on the 14th from 8 to 10:30.
From 8 to 10:30. Okay, there you go, folks.
Absolutely.
Is there, and if they wanted tickets, they got to call. Who would they call if they wanted tickets to the banquet?
Oh, well, you would call the Syracuse University Department of that's deal with the CBT, which is the African American department.
Okay.
And it shouldn't be a problem. It's the website that they have, and you get information there.
Yeah. Hey, O'Neill, I'm just, what were you going to say, Ken?
Nothing. I was waiting for you to ask me a question.
Oh, I'm sorry you weren't at the football game.
Well, I listened to it.
Yeah, it was really a strange game, Lawrence. You know what I mean? The coach of the other, he had those players on the field. I don't like to say this word, and I don't say it to challenge them. I don't like to say that somebody was really fudging on the rules or cheating. But I'm going to tell you, that was very, very suspect. I'm telling you, there is going to be a ruling in the NCAA about faking injuries. They have to. Yesterday, it was way, way too coincidental, Lawrence.
Yeah, but you know what we say about that, Perry?
What?
It should never get to that point.
That's right. That is correct.
We should never have to
worry
about it.
But you also have to give him credit for doing that.
Yes.
I gave the coach credit. You're right.
Yeah.
He did.
Uh-oh.
Hey, another show is over, Perry.
You know what that means? You know when you get that music, Lawrence, that bump music? It means
it.
Yeah. So, okay, Ken, anything else? Any last final thoughts?
No,
quickly?
next week I'll try to read better.
And Lawrence, any final thoughts?
Oh, no, it's always a pleasure. 2 down. 1,000 more to go.
There you go.
Ah! 2 down, 1,000 more to go. Every week we'll be here. There might be a few exceptions. We will let you know. Davidson Ford, thank you very much for your support of the Sports Express radio show. We'll be back next week, and in the studio we'll have James Mungro, but we'd like to call you if you don't mind.
Not a problem.
All right?
Not a
All right,
problem.
folks, this is News Radio 570 WSYR. Now on 106.9 FM.